Today on Brilliance Business TV, we have the incredible Debra Guerrero. Debra is a visionary speaker, best-selling author, executive producer, star of the multi-award-winning movie Zero Limits, and a lifelong entrepreneur. Stay tuned. Welcome to Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. I am your host, Mark Stephen Pooler. We have an incredible guest on the show today. Have you got Zero Limits? The incredible Debra Guerrero. We're streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, but also on the E360 TV network, Apple, Android, Roku, Business Innovators Radio Network, and MSPnewsglobal.com. Let's bring in our incredible guest, Debra Guerrero. Debra, welcome to Brilliance Business TV.
Thank you. Honored to be here and excited. I love your intro music.
Oh, well, thank you. The pleasure is all ours. Let's get started with the show. Debra, you are known as the frequency catalyst, yet you also focus heavily on financial strategy and somatic wealth. How exactly does a person's physical frequency and energetic alignment directly impact their financial reality?
Like I tell people, it's an intersection. And truthfully, it's an intersection that connects to the heart. Especially when people are born in fight or flight, they're holding on. And I can give two people basically the same business or individuals, the same plan with the same income. And I can watch this group over here literally like there's holes in their crystal glass. The other person is taking the same thing and their money triple, quadruple, and sometimes even more. And they're leveraging other people's money. The difference is, truthfully, their physical body, the emotions. We are a pyoelectric generator. And when we really get that we are vibrating frequency, and truthfully, what runs us is not our brain. Sadly, if we stay in the brain, we're disconnected from the heart. And when we have this balance, and it's a beautiful balance, we release those blocks. I think most people are like, I gotta save, well, when they're doing this and they think they're holding it in, what they're really doing is blocking the flow. So just like that beautiful music, it's a flow.
I hear you. It's definitely about getting into the heart and
Yes.
being coherent, so the heart and the brain are working together as well. I think that's very, very important. With bold rulers, you create frequency infused natural stone jewelry. I want to have a look at some of this as well. How does wearing a piece like the Seven Spirits keychain practically support someone who is trying to clear energetic blockages and step into a more prosperous, joyful state?
And I want to tell you how you got there. I used to have tremendous migraines. I mean, migraines that would last for a couple of weeks. And someone connected me to frequencies. I honestly thought I was at a quack. I thought I don't want anyone to know I'm actually paying for this. When I left, I was honestly embarrassed, Mark, that I actually paid for that visit. However, what I realized that night was I had no headache. Wasn't that big of a deal? No pressure in the head. But when we're talking the third day, and I have no pressure in my head, I knew there was something to it. I gladly went back, paid for it again, and then the next week I was there 5 days in a row. And what it was no medicine, nothing that's going to even bring my frequency lower. I was allergic to the cell phone. How many of us carry a cell phone? So it was very short after that. I was at an event and I paid literally $30 per sticker. This is nearly 20 years ago for an EMF blocker that literally shifted. When I say shifted my life, it shifted me from having to take medicines that I didn't desire. Now, our technology has come back. It's not that we've got it new, we just got it back, right, from Rife and so forth, that we can infuse products like this. The ones that are resin, once it hardens, it's in there. Metal stones, it's in there. By the way, a lot of people, Mark, don't realize what makes a beautiful, precious stone is that they maintain a vibration, a frequency. So when we get up in here, right, and think of the rainbow as our portals or chakras. I don't want to offend anyone, but think of it as your energy centers. That's the rainbow here. Every one of those ports is a different frequency, but they're all to flow in harmony.
I love it. I think making sure we're all in a good energy, in a good vibration. I actually wear some frequency jewelry as well, and I know you said you were going to send me one at one point, Deborah,
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So we'll have to talk about that. Now, the idea of making profit simply by paying everyday expenses sounds impossible to most people, Deborah. As a financialist, what is the fundamental mindset shift entrepreneurs must make to awaken their inner banker and actually monetize their bills?
The biggest mindset is that we're so taught to save and hoard. Money is kinetic. It if we look at it instead of just making, oh, I got to pay this bill. No, first of all, you get to pay the bill because you're here. So that's an opportunity. And when you're paying the bill, go ahead and bless it. Send that money out. Look at it as return. I also tell entrepreneurs and individuals, our money should be looked at and viewed as our employee. Our best employees, by the way. I know, Mark, you probably have your own employees and staff and personal assistants. I want my assistant to have my back. I can guarantee you my money is working for me 24/7, and it absolutely has my best interest. And there's not one person or banker that their money doesn't work for them. The difference is the banker uses our money. I flip it and teach the individual, especially an entrepreneur running big money through, how to profit by leveraging other people's money. The exact same thing, by the way, what ultra wealthy do. And I'm going to say this, and I'm very proud of this. We just brought on a gentleman that actually wrote the Hampton Freeze. He's Trump's personal advisor and many, many, especially for clients 10 million and over. So we can help anyone. But what we do is take the individual and we flip them from paying other people to bringing the money in and earning off of leveraging OPM, other people's money. And again, the wealthy and elite are taught this as children.
Very, very wise strategy. We want our money working for us. You often speak about clearing the subconscious, which is really important to reset our baseline energy. How do practices of deep energetic clearing and forgiveness, such as Ho'oponopono, play a role in removing the barriers to our ultimate financial success?
And actually being financial or an illness, right? That dis-ease, all of that is a dislike in the body. First thing is when people wake up, often they're already gasping for air, literally when their eyes open. Family, folks, please, if you, at any point in the day, that your body becomes tight, especially if it's with money, you must take control of that. We must learn to control our physical body, and we can do that through heart and brain coherence. So the first thing I'm going to tell you, especially for me, because I'm a physical being, I like touching, tap and breathe. Get your breath. Your breath is your first access to controlling and reducing the panic. Especially, guys, when I was born in fight or flight, you wake up in that, and most people that are born in fight or flight rarely even get out of it. when you start working and getting out is when you start noticing your tension in your body. Again, when that tension comes in, and I'm not going to do it, but I'll say it real quick. I love to connect the vagus nerve. Most people have never even connected their vagus nerve, really. To do that, you breathe in 4 or 5 counts, hold 1 or 2, but you have to breathe out longer than you breathe in. So if you breathe in 4, push out an extra 2. And again, I highly suggest, just if you're in a grocery store, nobody needs to see. Touch your heart, because wherever you touch in physically, that's where your attention goes immediately. And we so desire you to get out of here, because that little 7 inches could be the worst prison that we can ever live in. Move it to here. And again, the whole hono, let me explain that real quick. It's a simple phrase and it sounds so easy that it would never work. But it obviously worked enough to clear a psychiatric ward. The most dangerous one, by the way, in America. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And actually, by doing that, you are taking the piezoelectric generator and you're literally confusing it very quickly with the old habits that, the directions in our brain, and you're resetting. So it'll put you back at what I call the frequency of 0. And that's where you can breathe, because unless you're at that calm state, even if a great opportunity comes to it, you're still doing this because your body is so tired. And we want you to start opening it and then allow it.
Beautiful. I do breath work, and I like how you said connecting with the vagus nerve, because we when we're doing breath work, we make a big vibrational R on the out breath, and that also connects you to the vagus nerve as well. I know the importance of these things, Deborah, and I'm sure many people do, but there are people out there that may be struggling, that are in flight or flight, and having these little tools is really, really important. So thank you for sharing that. For the aspiring entrepreneur listening right now who feels completely stuck financially and energetically, what is the very first actionable step they can take today to become their own banker and shift their frequency?
Well, the first thing I know they're going to desire, especially working with me as a financialist, is me to create a spreadsheet for them. Put them on the roadmap. Again, until we clear some of the nervous system, so we can plug up all the holes. And then you can be served it in the crystal glass with no leakage. So again, we're going to go back to the nervous system. We're going to clear memories. We're going to release those little blocks. And by the way, those blocks, when we get really what whole bone is, we created our own self. There's not a ceiling over me. That's that glass ceiling. And somebody could easily spend $100 where someone else is 1,000, and the person that spent 100 is gasping. Again, look at that physical where you are and release the limits. Because once we get that open, I can easily take anyone and get their finances to work. That's just a math problem. The issue is the math problem isn't the math problem first. It's an emotional problem. Math, 1 + 1 will always equal 2. So that we can get simple. Once we clear here, we're going to get you on the path where your finances not only maintain, but they bring you back. They add to it.
It makes perfect sense, Deborah, to really work with the body, the emotion, clearing, so that we're in a space then where we can create better abundance without the limits that we've put on ourselves. So I've really enjoyed this conversation, Deborah. Now, I know you offer lots of things. I would say, who watching would you love to connect with you, Deborah? And how can you support them? They can go to debraguerrero.com. That's debraguerrero.com. Who out there are you looking to really connect with and would love them to reach out to you, Deborah?
I can help anyone, but especially entrepreneurs. I can take them and teach them to really make a tremendous profit from their companies. Also, I find working with entrepreneurs, because they have other employees, we can get a lot of people actually on a calm, healing, loving mode very quickly. And again, It's not just the emotions. We can take it into the banking system. I take people and I put them in the banker's position. So we leverage other people's money and you make the banker's profit. And if people actually understood really how much the bank makes off of our money and leverage, you'd be shocked. You're not in the 20s, 30s, 50 or 100. You're in the hundreds of percent of what they build. And we know that we see their banks. So really anyone, but I love speaking with groups. I can come in and speak with groups. I kind of go all over. So just connect with me on a one-on-one and let's see what we can create, because I love creating.
And show us those lovely pieces of jewelry again, Debra.
This is one of the most popular, I'm trying to grab it, is the Tree of Life. It's natural stones and it's a keychain. Then this is a pendant, or whoops, get it in the camera. The Merkaba. By the way, the Merkaba is the energy that is always around us. The top part, triangle, is the male, goes into the female. The bottom part of our physical being is the female. So the male and female go in. That's our aura, our energy. These are wonderful pendulums also. And another really popular piece is the Merkaba with the stones. But we did quite a bit. The heart, I'm wearing the heart. I actually never take this off. Hearts are very popular, and in the back it's ideal. Because we are the creator.
I love it. Absolutely love it. If you've connected with Debra today, do go to debraguerrero.com. That's debraguerrero.com. Debra, thank you so much for being my guest today. I thoroughly enjoyed having a conversation with you.
Highly blessed myself. I hope to reach out to all of you, connect with you, and God bless. Blessings. Multiple abundance.
Excellent. Thank you everyone for joining us for Brilliance Business TV, conversations with leading experts in business. Until next time, bye for now.